YouTube. It is Tuesday. I was going to, falling down that hole my dog dug yesterday. I was going to have a look at the engine yesterday, but there was like a storm in Ireland and it brought loads of dust over. Rather than the sky being blue, it was actually yellow. And when I mean like the whole sky was just a horrible yellowy colour. This, like this sort of yellow, but a bit less greeny on it. And what I've been doing today is I have added a teeny bit more oil to the engine. I've pulled it over a few times. There is sort of when I pull it over, there's sort of kind of like a knocking noise, which I would obviously tell, which would indicate a bad sign. But it's hard to tell whether it's actually an engine knock that's bad or not. Whether I haven't took the head off. I have wiped around here, but obviously as I've been turning it over, it's spraying. It's got oil in it. I did spray a bit of WD-40 where the spark plug goes. So what I'm going to do now is the breather tube. I don't know if it's had oil dripping out of it or not. I'm not entirely sure. But it's got oil in it. Obviously, because I've been turning it round, all the oil sort of splashed up everywhere. But I know it's not supposed to be filled up that much, and it isn't. It's just where it's splashed up and hasn't run back down yet. But it was on the dipstick, sort of on the bottom of it. The oil, I don't know. It isn't Ford oil. It isn't Ford Halford's oil that's been put in it. This is the old oil out of the car. What I'm going to do now is I think, just because I've never done it before, but I know nothing can go wrong, I'm just going to take the exhaust cage off and sort of bend it back into shape. And then I'm probably going to take the actual exhaust muffler off as well. Just, have a look at it, because why not? I was looking for a spark plug. This one, the thread bit's too long if you compare it to this one, look. The thread is a lot longer. Now, this one fits the mower, this doesn't. This originally... Whose dog's that bark? That's the house in the corner. This spark plug originally came out of the Sovereign mower, but the Sovereign has one of these in it now, and it has like it had like a plumbing washer that's quite thick, so only a little bit of it's screwed in, but it's still tightened up. And the Quellcast also has one of these as well. The plug that was originally in the Quellcast was in the mount field. We managed to get rid of the mount field, by the way. We sold it at last. So I believe there's a bolt missing there, which is just sort of holds the assembly together. I said I believe the engine had an electric starter, which would have been, actually I believe would have been exactly here, roundabout, and it would have started it electronically. That's because I'm spinning the engine the wrong way while it's winding the pull starting, but that's the right way. Just spun the engine. That's the breather. Now this obviously, I believe, it originally had one of those ones where the primer bulb was on the air filter, and I believe the breather tube here would have plugged into the air filter. I believe you can probably, and it's one of those ones where the breather tube plugged into the air filter and the primer bulb was also on the air filter. But I believe just by but I believe that's where the fuel would have gone in from, as it one of those ones where the tank was around the engine. It had like a thing up here. I have got an air filter actually, which I'm just gonna out of curiosity see if it fits. I did spray a bit of WD-40 up there as well. It's like, as I said, it's like the overhead valve carb, other than it's only got the single bolt there and that intake pipe here, which where the overhead valve ones have like a little separate screw, and you can unscrew for like draining it and stuff. That's my cat mincing about the garden. I don't know what would have been there. It would have possibly had like a thing maybe that came round, it possibly had a bolt in there, and the cable possibly went attached here and had a hook that went on there, which would have done this. Because I believe it's one of the that had the old choke on the handlebars, possibly. And that's a bit, it's got a crack in there. So what we're going to do is just take the exhaust box off. Where's that bolt on? I think it bolts directly to the exhaust. So we're just going to get the exhaust off now, and I'll come back to you when I've done that. Just to be awkward, that bolt is a size 7. Now, this spanner, wherever I've just put it, where have I just put it? This one, turn it the right way. The side nearest to the garage is a size 6, and the side nearest to my shed is a size 8. The 8's too big and the 6 won't go on, which making it a 7, which is a bit of an awkward size, because I can assure you finding a size 7 spanner is going to be tricky. So I'm going to try and undo it with a pair of pliers, because I know that finding a size 7 spanner, which is a rather odd size, is going to be a bit of a challenge. I have managed to find a spanner, as the pliers did the front one, which was in there, which is there. This top one wouldn't undo using pliers, and that's there, and it's also got this weird bracket. The bolt does come out of it. The bracket's bent at the end. I don't really know what it does. I'm just putting them like that so I know which bolts go where. The bottom one is coming out, but it's quite tricky to get to, so it's proving difficult. I will get it out, it's just going to take me quite a long time. But yeah, what I was speaking about this, I'm just going to go back this one more time, is I believe a starter would have been here, which goes in these gears and turns the engine that way. And this would have been either went to the starter, or something like that. And that's all I can think that it would have done. So that's all I'm going to mention about starter. But it might not be for the starter. It might not have even had an electric starter. It might have just been that they used a flywheel with that would fit a mower with the starter. Maybe they did other models that had starters. I don't think this is important. And I think that's probably going to be the fuel inlet, where the fuel goes into the carburettor. But if it isn't, then I need you to tell me that it isn't, because obviously I don't know. So let's continue getting the exhaust off. As I said, we've done all of them except the bottom one. Okay, well that's the exhaust cage off. We'll just bend it back. And it has, what's weird is this plate in front of the exhaust, and then those two bolts hold the exhaust to the mower. We're only going to take it off because, you know, why not? When I turn this won't actually turn the engine over, but when I turn the engine, it turns this. So, this, as I pull the engine at a steady speed, where the blade goes spins a lot faster than what this does. So it's obviously geared inside so that it doesn't spin round the same speed as the engine. Now, although it has some blade coming in and out, it won't go up and down. So it's not gonna. It might go in and out, but it doesn't come up and down, which is what would cause vibration. So that's good. It isn't leaking oil out of there, which I must admit at first I was concerned about. And I can't see it leaking oil anywhere. The only reason it's all around here is where I put it all in the pull start. So it isn't leaking oil anywhere it shouldn't be, which is a good thing. So let's bend that back, get the plate off, bend that straight, and then take the exhaust off. We're only doing it for fun, really. It don't really need to come off. Okay, it isn't perfect, but it is better than what it was. And I've also straightened up the front one where it was all bent in. So now we're just going to take the plate off, and it is slightly bent, so we'll just bend that straight. Okay, these bolts were very stiff to undo. That one's moved, that one's moved, that one's moved. That one seems to be seized. So I'm going to carry on trying it. Okay, I've tried all I can, and I'm not able to get that bottom bolt undone. So I'm just going to undo the two that bolted to the engine and hope they're not seized. Because I really wouldn't want to shear them off, and then hope we can just sort of bend it back how it is. Okay, we're just taking it off now. I know what's a bit bad, I haven't switched the screen rotation off. I wonder if oh, maybe not. Okay, we've took the exhaust off. The gasket round there looks pretty burnt up, so quite clearly the exhaust had a leak. It's a bit oily up there, and this is where the valves are, to adjust them in there, but I don't think we need to do that, not that I'm aware of anyway. So we're just going to clean up round there, try and bend everything back, and then put the exhaust back on. Good thing I did take it off though, because quite clearly it's been leaking. Okay, right. I took the exhaust gasket off because it's all burnt and blown up, and it just isn't working anymore. It was leaking anyway because there was oil actually like all dripping down here, and I could just tell that the exhaust gasket wasn't doing its job anymore, and basically might as well not have had one on there anyway. So I've removed it, but I would like to refit it with a gasket. And I know I have some other mower parts up here. I've got in that black basket, that blue bag's got mower parts in it, and there is an exhaust in there. So I was wondering if I can pinch the exhaust gasket off of that, because I know I would have kept it and use it on this mower, because I don't like this. Because this engine isn't going to be on a mower. I might have to make like a temporary like wooden stand or something for it. But anyway, I don't. Lawnmower engines are noisy enough as it is. Even when lawnmower engines, as you know, they're not the quietest thing around. And if it's leaking exhaust fumes by a broken up rotten gasket, so it might as well not have an exhaust, for example, I can assure you it's going to be a lot louder than what it is already, and as I said, they're loud enough as it is. So I'm just going to hope that one's got a gasket I have up there, and I'm going to steal the gasket from that one and to put on this one. If not, then I'm afraid I'm going to just have to mount it back up without a gasket, because the gasket, I only actually touched it and it all sort of fell apart. It's just rotted and dried and burnt out, basically. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, it's quite late. The time's actually 4:59. I've put all the exhaust cage back on. I did manage to make some form of gasket. Hopefully it doesn't catch fire, but I don't have my mowers revving very high. Anyway, so that's done. So the exhaust cage is a bit better and everything's put back on. So all we've actually really done today is the exhaust and add some oil to the engine, which I shall now check to see if it's run back down at all. So we're going to probably check the oil another time. But as I said, all I need you lot to tell me in this video, I know I've not really done much in this video, but all I actually need you to tell me is what is I want to know if that's definitely where the fuel goes in from, and what that wire does. We don't actually have. We have this air filter, but the thing's actually too wide and doesn't fit. This is the petrol tank I shall probably use for its fuel. I should probably mount this tank to it. Yeah, quite a close fit actually, look. Think we could do something with that, couldn't we? So yeah, I believe that probably does something. These are actually coolers for a barbecue, but if you could, it doesn't fit this mower, but you could use that as like a straight pipe on the lawnmower. Not really useful unless you want to muck around with your lawnmowers because you're quite stupid. This is what I mean by the overhead valve carbs. Come out, take. This one does that, and then this. So this one does the throttle at the back, and that's a fuel on and on switch, and that's what I mean. It's got that little drain screw. Not really sure what gunk's in there. I might take that screw out just to No, I won't, because I'm not using this stuff at the moment. So, I know we've not done much today. I'm not going to end the video yet. I'm just going to sort of clear up, because it's actually not getting late, but as I said, it is 5:02 now. So, it's getting a bit late, and it's sort of, yes, I kind of do want to go in, although we haven't done much today. And if the weather's nice tomorrow, and I can film tomorrow, then tomorrow, maybe, we're trying to get a fuel tank set up, we'll try and put a spark plug in it, and check for spark. In fact, I'll probably do that in a separate video after today. I'll probably just put it in the shed or somewhere really dark, and then put the spark plug somewhere, and then pull the engine over, but leave the phone zoomed in on the spark plug, just to check for spark. There's a video for myself to see if I can see a spark. Because when I was turning the engine over, I couldn't, but I wasn't turning it over very fast. So, we've bent all the exhaust codes out. We've made a better, a temporary a be permanent gasket. As the other one wasn't actually doing much. But fingers crossed the gasket I've made doesn't catch fire. I don't think it's made of a flammable material. It's like a tin. It's like a foily substance. So hopefully it doesn't catch fire. But I don't think it will. As I said, it's like a foily substance. It isn't tin foil. But now I think of it, why didn't I just use tin foil? Bit too thin though, isn't it? This stuff's more slightly different material. It's like a foily, so it's like a paper foily substance. So let me just pack the worst of me mess away for now. Okay, so I think that's it for today. It's got oil, it's got compression. I believe that is the fuel. I've just got to check that spring and everything, do a little bit more research, and in the next video, the next video I do, maybe tomorrow, will probably be the next video of me fixing it, and then the video after that, hopefully, will be me starting it. So that's the end of this video, because I need to check the spark before I put it away. Comment, like, and subscribe. I'll see you soon with a new video, and bye-bye.